Hello, mis amores. It's your girl, Miss Angelina, live and direct from San Juan, Puerto Rico, here with another episode of Pandemic and Chill. It's kind of like Netflix and chill, except we're in a global pandemic. So, how many of y'all out here have been pandemic and chilling? That's what I want to know. Hola, Bori, el profesor, el profe está aquí. Hola, hola todos. So, how many of y'all here have been like kind of talking, flirting, dating during this pandemic? A lot of us are going online because we can't really meet in person. And if you saw last week on episode 2, well, mira, I know. Oi, Judy, that's how I feel about it. Oi. Okay, I feel more like oi. Pero, mira, la cosa es que it's tough dating right now because you have to meet people online. And when you meet people online, it could go any way. You never know how it's going to go. I've had good experiences. I've had bad experiences. Oh, you got a date since 2020, el profe, de verdad? Oh, so you got a relationship that started during the pandemic? Is that true, profe? Wow, you're one of the chosen few. That's difficult to do. I met her on Facebook. Exacto. And you guys are still together almost a year later during the pandemic? Wow. Good for you. Well, if you guys saw episode 2 last week of our web series here, Pandemic and Chill, my character, Carla, she gets on the dating apps too, but it doesn't exactly go so well, is how I think it goes most of the time. Hi, Judy. A lot of times you get on these apps and you gotta swipe left a lot of times before you can swipe right. Or you could get a lot of matches, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a real match, if you know what I mean. Shit gets a little wild on the apps. Hold up. El profe, you're getting engaged? There's a COVID engagement happening? Whew. I'm inspired by you and hoping for the best for all of us in this case. Anyone who's just joining, El Profesor over here in the chat met someone in the middle of the pandemic on Facebook dating, and they're together and getting engaged. Now they're engaged and getting married. Well, it doesn't always go that way, does it, folks? So that brings me to episode 3, which we're all about to watch together right now. To catch you up to speed, in episode 1, Carla lives alone and she's going crazy in quarantine. In episode 2, she says gets on the apps, but she's kissing a lot of frogs and not really finding a prince. So that brings us to episode 3. What is going to happen to Carla in episode 3? We're about to find out right now. Real talk. I, Miss Angelina, created this web series, and it's a lot of work. I wrote it, I produced it, I directed it, and now I'm even editing it. So as a small business owner, it's tough. So I've been editing down to the wire today. So there's still a few little edits I'd like to make to this. So it's going to get released on our website a little later than usual. It's not up on the website yet. It will be up by the end of the night. So for all you people, it doesn't matter because you're here now and we're going to watch it live together. And then, since you're going to like it so much, you can go back and watch it on the website later tonight or tomorrow. So here's the point where I tell everyone we're going to the movies. Turn your phone like this. Turn it to the side so you can see the screen that I'm about to show you. And we're going to go to the movies. So shh, be quiet. Turn your cell phones off. Grab your snacks. Are you ready? Hey! Let me turn this filter off so you guys can see what's happening here. No filter. Okay. And now I present to you episode 3. Pandemic and Chill.
me, I'm lost every time I'm looking deep in your eyes. The way that I feel is real, no lie. I know that I need you by my side, but when I try to tell you, I'm all tongue-tied. I didn't see it coming, no, not at all. Felt a little something so very small. Then all of a sudden, I hit a wall. Now I'm overflowing like a waterfall. Damn, look what you're doing to me. Those two baby blues will be the ruin to me, but keep on pursuing me, 'cause all I know is I want it to be you and me. When I look into your deep blue eyes, I can see the sea. I can touch the sky. When I look into your eyes, when I look into your deep blue eyes, I can see the sea. I can touch the sky.
So, maybe this is weird, pero do you want to go on a date with me? Como una cita virtual?
¿Una cita virtual?
Sí, como un video date. Don't worry, nada pervertido. A real date, pero virtual. Mira, prepárate por una videollamada muy romántica mañana a las 8 and I'll take care of the rest.
Okay, see you then.
I see you. Come on. You see me. I know. Come on. I feel you. Come on. Show me. When I look into your eyes, when I look into your deep blue eyes, so deep, I can see the sea. I can touch the sky. When I look into your eyes, when I look into your deep blue eyes, I can see the sea.
So the saga continues. Carla likes somebody. It took a while. It took a long while. But Carla actually likes somebody. Yay! So now we're going to see what happens next. So like I said, thank you. Yes, the music you heard during that episode is also my music. Yay! So if you like that, you can check it out on iTunes, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, etc. All the links are in my Instagram. So, Carla's happy. For those of you who could understand, I didn't get a chance to add the subtitles yet, but yes, Jesus, Carla's new love interest, he speaks Espanol, so they speak a little Spanglish together. So they were speaking in English and Spanish, and if you didn't understand, so I didn't add the subtitles yet, they're going to go on a virtual date. Have you guys ever been on a virtual date? All right, enough is enough. Let's bring in sex during Corona so we can break down the episode. What did we see? What's going on with Carla? How does that reflect what's going on in our own lives for all us single people during the pandemic? I'm ready to get into it. We had some things from the stories that were funny that we have to get into. So I'm going to need sex during Corona to request to please join. Here she is. Da-da-da! Wait for it. Wait for it.
Hey, what's up?
What up? All right.
Lovely to be here again.
It is lovely to be here again. So for those of you who have not joined us before or maybe still don't know, Mariah is a dear friend of mine from when we both lived together in Puerto Rico. She is a social worker, a general mental, spiritual health lover, and a sexpert. So she has taken all of these skills to create her account, Sex During Corona, specifically talking about all of the implications of dating and having sex, being single or not, during the pandemic, and what does it mean? So we're here. Yes, we like your lighting, Mariah.
Yes, every Wednesday I'm gonna switch up the colors for you guys, and I match my
Yeah.
outfits, and my cup. You gotta match it all.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Thanks, girl. It's all for you.
Thank you. All right, so the episode we just watched, Carla met somebody that she actually likes.
Yay!
Yay!
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And especially when you're just like in the house alone for so long, to actually get to spend the day chatting with someone as opposed to just having to be alone. Oh my God, it's huge.
It really is.
I feel like that's what a lot of people are looking for more than even sex is like just someone to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's been like so many different things, like online things, just to make friends. Do you know what I mean? Like meetups, online meetups, and just like online everything, just to make friends and to not be alone and to have connection, versus like work Zoom calls.
Yeah. Don't worry, Gabe. Don't worry that you missed it. It's not on the website yet, but it will be by the end of tonight or first thing in the morning. So for anybody who missed the live episode, that's okay. Our website, pandemicandchill.tv, is where you can always go to the website and catch up on episodes. We're up to episode 3. And for the who missed it, my character, Carla, she basically meets someone online that she actually likes for a change. And it really changes her whole mood. And I remember the first time that happened to me in the pandemic, where I actually met someone online that I liked.
Yay, I know.
It's like the best day that I had in months. I was like, yay!
It's such a good feeling.
It is such a good feeling. Oh my God. So what are some of your like, not getting too specific, but like, what are some of your success stories from online dating, and why do you think they were maybe successful versus the other ones?
So there's like an interesting thing that happens with online dating, especially when we're like not going anywhere. Like I've had these dudes where like they resurface actually.
Oh my God.
Like, and sometimes it's like weird, right? Sometimes it's weird, but so remember Angelina, at my birthday last year, I invited a random guy to my 35th birthday on Zoom with like all my friends and family. And for the last year, we've kind of messaged, and like the last few weeks, we've actually hung out.
Oh.
And it's just hilarious because it's just like, wow, like that took maybe a year, but like whatever. And then another guy, I like went back through all my hidden matches on Hinge, and we were hanging out for a while. So like, the resurfacing is kind of cool because they're still there. That's been kind of a fun little thing of like going back to like, oh, whatever happened to him? Oh, you're still single? Cool, I'm still single. Well, I don't know why we didn't do this last time, but like, let's do it now, So I think that that's kind of cool. And I actually like kind of had a boyfriend for a minute. Well, kind of like 3 kind of for a minute. Not at the same time. But like I actually like my grandpa had gotten corona and I went online and there was a hurricane coming and I went online and I was like, I don't want to be alone. I was like in July, so I was like sick of it. And I was like, I don't want to be alone. Like I need somebody. I don't want to be alone. This hurricane, my grandpa's corona. Like I want some dick. I want somebody to lay with. I want to have fun. And this dude was like, I'm in. And we spent the whole weekend together and ended up spending a month together. And it didn't work out, but it was fun and it was great. So that's one story. And then there's been a couple other like really good guys.
So I have a question. When you say you had spent a month together, did he move in?
No, I wish. That's what we always wished. We always wanted like quarantine. Boo, boo, boo. Like I've been feeling that recently actually because I'm like, I miss the cuddling. Like I've been having sex a little bit, but like I miss the cuddling a lot recently. So no, he didn't move in, but it was like, 2-3 times, like it was like consistent spending time together.
I asked that only because I think a lot of people decided to do that with either like an ex, like someone from their past who they were like, fuck it, come through and let's just like get through this together. Or I know, right?
For recycling, yes.
Recycling. But I think also maybe some people who you just met, even it was like, well, we just met, but like, just
I mean, I remember
it's like safer if we're both just living in the same place.
No, it really, especially then, like it really is. I actually talked to a guy about creating an app. I remember, like, I actually went out of my way to like talk to somebody about creating an app where it's like, here's what I like to do, here's what you like to do, you know, like, and let's just move in together for people who like live alone, people who are caretaking, like, and you can just match up. But of course, like, I never created it, but you know, that was like the plan, because you know, we want somebody to be with, and then you find out about somebody really much faster. Do you know what I mean? You're like, we don't have to waste time.
That I think was like the game changer this past year. And I feel like I'm going to speak from my experience as a woman. Like, it was either like guys understood this or they didn't. And that was like the difference, which was like, we're in a pandemic. This is not like your day-to-day swiping. This is not like your day-to-day booty call, talking shit, dick pic situation. Like, we're in an intense global situation with a lot of feelings. And if you're approaching me like you did in 2019, like just on some, hey, like, hey, boo, or like, hey, cutie, like, da-da-da-da, on some bullshit, it's like, are you completely tone deaf? Like, do you not understand that we're in a pandemic right now? And like,
no,
like,
I mean,
what? You know,
no,
what
I remember a couple times where I was like, so how are you? Because I think one of the positives about dating during this pandemic is like actually being able to ask somebody like, how are you doing? And not just like, hey, what's up? How are you? But like, hey, actually, like, how are you doing? You know, especially if they live alone or like they work in the front lines or they have like whatever, like, how are you actually doing? And that was a positive. And I remember I talked to one guy and I was like, how are you doing? Like, how is this affecting you? You know, trying to like connect. And he was just like, I'm so good. Like, everything's super great. And like, I was just like, wait, so you haven't been affected like at all? And I was just like, okay, something is like, how have you not been affected at all by this pandemic? Like, that's insane.
We're acting normal. It's like, so how are you? You're like, oh, you know, I'm chilling. I'm good. Just like that. It's like, bro, what?
Right, and in Florida, like we've talked about a million times, I mean, these dudes since March have been like, hey, want to come over? And I'm like, whoa, bro, like, this is not 2019.
Right.
Like, no.
And so, but I feel like on the flip side, the guys who were more like, oh my God, I'm fucking so lonely or depressed or this sucks or how are you? Or like, I really just like miss X, Y, or Z, or I really just like want somebody to talk to. It was like such a more instant, like genuine connection.
For sure.
And I feel like that's what separated right away, like who I wanted to talk to and who I didn't, was like, who's actually acknowledging that we're in a pandemic and therefore that's going to change everything.
Oh no, for sure. Like guys who,
everything, you know,
like guys who were like super, like, you know, doing all the things, like it was super hot to me. Like, do you know what I mean? When a guy's like, you know, I'm doing this and doing that and I haven't left my house and do it, like, I was just like, oh my God, like, you're sexy. Like, being responsible was like sexy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's sexy. You know?
So true. I know. And that's what was weird. And like, you know what? It also might just be like social awkwardness. Like, we're so used to just being like, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm chilling. I'm cool. I'm good. How are you? And it's like, to switch that up to actually being like, no, how are you? I think it was, some people like didn't know how to actually be real. They're so used to just being like surface level, whatever, you know?
Right, but you also have to be in touch with your own self and know how you're doing before you can even explain it to somebody else. So like, I think a lot of these guys, and we talked about this last night on my live with this guy about love, was just like, you have to be aware of like your own mental health and how you're actually doing before you can even like know what you want, know if you want to date, know like anything. Like, that's the first thing.
It's so true. It's so true. So, and it's, you know, so before you came on like to join me, we had a guy in the chat saying he met somebody in May of 2020. So like 2 months into the pandemic, they've stayed together and now they're engaged.
Yeah, I know. See, and I will tell you, because I have done so much research, as you know, like I'm constantly, I get like Google notifications of every single article that's written about like dating during Corona, love during Corona. So, like, I get all the articles. So I've been reading a lot. And all of them are just all these love stories, like this love story and this love story and this love story and this love story. And it's like, so a lot of people really are. And those are the ones that get published to try to, no, those are the ones that get published to, yeah.
I don't know about the percentages on that one, but
Well,
okay.
I can tell you, 29% of people have reported starting a new romantic relationship since the start of the pandemic.
Wow.
But only 1 in 10 people in the U.S. have met, like, who are in committed relationships, is not pandemic related, met on a dating app. So still, the percentage of people meeting on dating apps is still only like 1 in 10 people who are in committed relationships. So no, that's in general. That's in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's knock out a couple things. My first question for you is, so last night, what was the name of the guy that you were on with last night? On Sexter and Corona, Mariah went live with somebody last night. They were talking about love. What was his name?
His name is Nick. I mean, he has a podcast called Forbidden Fruit Podcast, which talks all about love. And it was amazing.
He's dope.
He's super dope.
Check out Forbidden Fruit Podcast. So you guys were talking about, just generally speaking, what are attractive qualities that you find in someone. So I'm going to take it even more specific. When you're on a dating app and you've matched with 100 guys, what are the interactions that make you be like, I want to keep talking to this person, versus the people that like, I don't give a fuck, I'm not responding, I'm ghosting, I'm not interested, whatever? What are the qualities that make you like engage with someone? And fellas, if you're single, pay attention, because we're going to tell you right now what makes a lady want to engage with you on a dating app.
I mean, I think, like we've said, back in the day, it was different. Now, like, because I actually want a relationship, like, I read their profiles a lot. And what are you laughing at?
I'm to get Gabe being like, who pulls these people?
You know what, Gabe? I can send you the links, okay?
Oh,
I mean, I read them.
Yeah.
So I read them, and I mean, sadly, people still judge. We still judge each other. So if it's some dude like all chained out and all like looking like he's on boats with hoes in Miami, like, I'm not gonna match with him. Do you know what I mean? If he can't spell right, and I know that's like something whatever, like, there's certain little things where I'm just like, if they can't even like focus enough, and I don't like, obviously people have different language, English is their second language, like, so there's different reasons why, like, it could be spelling, but like, I really am like, if they can't even like put any in, and it's just like, or just like they put no thought into their answers, like, it's just the most basic generic things, fish pictures. I mean, there's all these things that like are no-nos on dating apps, and so I look at those things.
But here's my thing. We're already past swiping. You've actually matched with people.
Okay.
This is what happens to me. You swipe left. For women, it's a different game. So we're talking about it as a woman's point of view. I'm happy to hear from the men if you guys want to chime in the chat. But you've already swiped, and even that, you're only swiping right like 10%. And then you get all these matches, okay? And then most of the people you match with, you don't even talk to. Like, nobody even starts the conversation, which is always crazy to me, but all right. So let's just say then you've whittled it down to who have you actually matched with and started a conversation with?
The ones that message me back.
How does that, right? Like, how does a conversation get started? And then if it does get started, how does it continue to the point where you're actually engaging with each other and not just like a hey, and then that's the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, and so I'll go first. For me,
yeah, you go.
It's always sense of humor. Like, if somebody is funny or witty and is immediately like cracking jokes, I'm in. Like,
yeah, same.
The first guy that I actually like talked to and connected with and met up with once the pandemic started was all because he was funny. And we spent the whole day, probably a few days, just texting and laughing. And I was like, he's cool. And like, to me, if you're making me laugh and writing things that are like clever and witty and funny, and we have like a good back and forth going, I'm hooked.
Yep, for sure, 100%. And then the other big one, which is like pretty basic too, is like showing an interest in me, like actually asking me questions. Not just like, where are you from? Because it's on my dating profile on Hinge. It's on there. So don't ask me questions that are already on my profile, please.
Agreed.
Show that you read it.
Right.
And then like, actually, like, and then ask me questions about like my day and like who I like, just things about me, like actually show that you're interested in actually getting to know me. Like when people, I mean, I've had some guys ask me like super interesting things, like what's your biggest passion, or what is the thing you're most afraid of, or like really deep, interesting questions. And that gets me like fully involved, where I'm like, okay, this person actually is interested in like who I am. And then I'm into it from then on. Can I just say, Angelina, there is somebody on here that I matched with on Hinge who we ended up like video chatting every day for like hours every night for like weeks. And he doesn't live close, so then he would come for weekends, and now we're really good friends. So thank you. So I just want to say there is positivity. Like,
shout out to you.
He's super cool, and we both put in the effort. We're like, okay, like we want to get to know each other. We're gonna like video chat like every night. We're not doing anything else. Like, let's actually like get to know each other and figure out if we like each other versus wasting each other's time for weeks and months or like whatever. Because that happens, like these little texts, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like, no, like why? I don't even do that with my friends.
Yeah, I think you're right in that it has to be not only like show some actual interest, like, you know, like show me that you did look at my pictures and read my profile, and you're not just asking redundant things that are already there. Maddie says, already being vulnerable towards me is key to keep me interested. Be real. Yes, that's what I'm saying, is like, right now, I'm really only interested in having real, honest interactions with people, period. Like, we're in a very emotionally raw place in the world. People want to act like the pandemic's over. It's not over. Shit is still in full swing. And, you know, I'm here. Like, let's acknowledge the situation we're in and be real with each other. And I don't have patience for people who can't be real with me, especially right now. Like now, I just need realness, you know? And so, yeah, if a guy is ready to have a real conversation about, you know, one time I was talking to a guy who's a DJ, and he was like, shit sucks. Like, I lost my job, I lost my money, and I lost like my vibe. Like, I'm just so bored and lonely. And I was like, yo, I feel you. And he was somebody that I really engaged with, and we started talking about all the music that we like and sending each other videos and stuff back and forth, because it was like just that connection of like, yo, I feel you. Like, let's be real, you know?
Right, and I feel like there has been some guys who like actually check, like, even I don't really like the whole back and forth texting thing, especially if like we have no plan of like actually getting to know each other, video chatting or meeting up or whatever eventually. But there has been guys where like, hey, like, how's your mom? How's your family? How did you sleep? Like little things, like checking up, genuine, not just like, hey, like what's good, but like actual genuine questions. Like, and like that right there is another one. Like just little things, like remembering things that I say.
Right.
And following up on them.
Yeah, which is basic. But the thing about dating apps is they're so impersonal, because you are just like free-form swiping, half paying attention, half not paying attention. So it's common for people to not really fully engage with their actual attention span, you know?
Right, especially when they can keep swiping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe 415. If I was single and virtual COVID dating, I would be blown away if a guy asked me on a virtual meal and he would get the food delivered to me. Yes, this became a thing. This was a thing that I feel like didn't really happen before.
No. Okay, I feel very passionate about this, because I feel that people who were asked on real dates before the pandemic, and men who did those things, asked people on did all these really sweet romantic things, they still did them. But the majority, unfortunately, no offense, is that they didn't do those things, so they're not doing them now. I've been on a lot of Zoom dates, video chats, all these things. Nobody sent me anything to the house. Nobody did anything extra whatsoever.
Yeah, and here's another thing, is like, because especially now that we're a year in, but even like a few months in, the industry's, you know, all adapted to make things virtual. So if you want For example, for those of you who don't know, another thing that I happen to do is I teach salsa online. It's usually in person. I live in Puerto Rico. I teach salsa to people. Oh shit, it's a pandemic. Now I teach it online. It is the type of thing where men who are married or have a woman because they're thoughtful book it for as a date for them and their partner, and then they show up and they're dressed and they're cute and they have drinks and I teach them to salsa and it's so cute. And my point is there are options of things to do. You don't just have to like just do a regular old FaceTime or a Zoom. You can have food delivered to their house. You can book an online experience. There's a lot of them now. Like there are so many ways to get creative with it. We all saw that video when that went virtual with the guy who like flew something over to the girl on the roof across the way.
That was so cute.
Yeah, I know. I was like, is this real? But okay. You know what I mean? So
can I just give a few other ones? Just because, like, I did a lot of, I haven't looked back over these or thought of these in a while because I'm in Florida and the virtual date thing is kind of like gone and not a thing anymore, like at all. But anyways, I mean, you can like obviously do the basic things like cook together, study together. You can have dance parties, like fashion shows. You can like meditate. There's like, I mean, there's like there's a million games you can play. Like I played beer pong on your phone with some guy for a while. That was kind of fun. Like there's like a million things you can do.
Yeah, I played Uno with a guy for a while on the House Party app. That was fun.
Yeah, so there is a lot of things you can do.
There's so much you can do. And here's the thing. I think guys low-key resent having to always plan everything.
I have so many good ideas in my head.
And I think women also resent being like, do I have to do everything? Like, take some initiative, you know? So the truth is, women really want men to take, and I'm speaking generally here, but I'm speaking on behalf of most women I know, like really want the man or whoever the male role is, whoever is the alpha dominant in the situation. We want you to take the lead, plan something. Anything, even if it was just like meet me online at 10 p.m. for a game of Uno, I would be like, oh,
woohoo! I know. Yeah, you actually you don't even have to do what you used to have to do, which maybe you didn't anyway. Like now it's so like just literally plan a date time on, and we're there. We will like dress up and everything.
And here's the thing. And I don't want to say this because the truth is that I think a lot of women are looking for more than sex, especially in the time of the pandemic. I think a lot of people in general have realized how important intimate relationships are. When you're in the middle of a pandemic, you really want someone to be vulnerable with or to be affectionate with or to have that partnership and companionship with. So I think a lot of people, single people, have realized at this time, oh shit, sex is fun, but actually I really need like more than that in my life, you know? So, that being said, it's like planning even the dumbest, smallest, cheapest thing is such a way to it's such a turn on. And even if you're just looking for something casual, step your game up. Even if you just want to get laid, sending me a dick pic or like a flirtatious text or a FaceTime call doesn't do it for me. But it's not that hard to just be like, actually, let me spend $10 and send a pizza to your house. Let me spend $0 and invite you to do something online that's like a fun game or something thoughtful. The chances of me then fucking you are much higher than if
and fucking you even better. And fucking you better than I would have too, also.
True.
I got a speaker delivered to me. That was the only fun thing that I got.
Good.
That was. But can I just say one other thing, Angelina, is that I think that because of the what was ingrained in us for so long of just texting and meeting up, because that's just how it was for so many years. I think we're all just trying to adjust to even phone calls. Guys have called me on the phone and I've been I didn't even pick up, or I'll call them back. I think we're just even adjusting to this whole new thing of basic things like phone calls or video chatting. It's not new. It's not comfortable to us. I don't even FaceTime my family until the pandemic. Do you know what I mean? So I think we're trying to like realize that like phone calls are kind of normal and cool. Video chat's like not that bad. Like just starting to like normalize that kind of a thing.
I agree with you, but also it's been a fucking year. Like,
no, I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Soulful Storyteller says, do you like long phone conversations? Do people call these days? I think people call these days more now than they did before. That's for sure. Like Mariah was saying, we used to live in a message chat, WhatsApp only culture. And now people are like, oh, wait, like I'm going to Zoom you. I'm going to FaceTime you. I'm going to video call you. I'm even just going to regular call you. I actually think video calls are more common than regular calls.
Now, yeah. And I will tell you, I mean, I'm to the point because I'm tired and we're all tired. Like I don't want to text. So like, I don't even like when people DM me on Sexter and Corona and asking me a question or whatever, I will voice message them. Like I'm all about the voice message. Like I don't care. We do that all the time. Like sorry, what I can say in a voice message to you is so much better than texting back and forth. Like I voice message you. I don't care who you are, if I know you or not. Like voice message, just voice message at least.
But that being said, I love a good phone conversation, whether it's just an audio call or a video call. You know, actually having a conversation with someone, hearing their voice automatically makes it so much more intimate. I'm one of those people who like voice matters to me. I want to get you on a call ASAP because your voice is going to tell me if I'm turned on or off. Even before I see you, I need to know what you sound like.
It's so true. It's so true. It's so true.
I'm like, I need to hear your voice because every once in a while they catch you off guard with a crazy voice and you're like, ow.
Or they have like a really sexy voice and you're like, oh shit. Oh my gosh.
Maddie says, I had a great voice message date with a guy that ended steamy AF. Oh my God, a voice message date. I've definitely had a voice message date where you just send like steamy voice notes back and forth.
Oh, I did that today. Cause he was like talking all dirty to me. And I was like, I didn't see it. And then I had just been masturbating. So then I like voice messaged him right afterward. And I was like, sorry, I couldn't respond. Like, I was just watching like Brazilian orgies, like, sorry, with my dildo, like sucking clit dildo. And like, and it was like kind of hot, you know, like, fuck it.
I thought he was initiating something wild. And you're like, oh, sorry, I couldn't respond. Too busy with my sucking clit dildo. Orgy porn. He was like, oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Straight up.
We are all tired is the realest thing I've heard. It's so true. I'm exhausted.
We were tired before this.
Gabe, do you really have to ask who do we like better, Barry White or Steve Urkel? Barry White. You know, listen, a deep voice. I mean, I hate to be basic, but damn, a deep, manly, deep voice is hot. Let's be honest. Ay, Dios mío. But here's the thing that I just want to like explain again from the female point of view in case there's single men watching. Women, like, you know, once you have aroused our our mind and our emotions, our intellect and our feelings and like our intimacy, it develops into sexual arousal. Like, it's like foreplay. It's all a bunch of foreplay for us. So like, if you're wondering why you're striking out or if it's not working out for you, like, try actually engaging with her mind and her heart and her feelings and her brain. And then her legs are going to open quicker for you. Like, newsflash.
It's so
like,
true.
how did I still not understand that?
Because I think either they can get it without doing that or they don't think that that's even going to work for them. Like, I feel like there's like kind of the range of men of like some dudes who just like get mad pussy. And then there's some dudes who like struggle with it a lot. And so they just like don't know what else to do. And they like, you know, are like, I don't know what else to do here. And they kind of are like insecure. And so that doesn't really help either. And I feel like that there's kind of like this two extremes of it. And it's like kind of rare to find somebody in the middle. I don't know.
I also want to say I think there's an age gap in the way we approach each other. You know, I come from an older crew where, you know, we still talk, like we like talking on the phone. You know, we're all in the year 2021. Okay. We all mostly text message and emoji and all that shit. But at the end of the day, I only want to do that so it can lead up to me actually talking to you, seeing you. But I think the younger generation is really into this whole send nudes culture. Like, it's not even about talking or meeting up. It's about let's literally just send each other naked pictures, and that's all I want out of you. I'm not even going to try to fuck you. I just want to exchange nude photos with you, period.
Do you know that the rate of virginity, like, so it was going up for a while, like where people were losing their virginity more early, and it's actually like gone up. So people are losing their virginity later now, and the reasons being is because there's like three reasons. One is because people are sexting so much so that they're having fun with that and they don't actually even need the real thing. Two, it's become like less taboo to have sex before marriage, so people aren't rebelling to like, we need to go have sex now to like rebel against it, and people are talking about it more, and like more comprehensive sex education. So actually people are waiting longer to have sex than they used to than in our generation because of sexting and that thing. So I guess that's like where a positive is it, even though there can obviously be negatives too.
Right. I mean, for me, I just always find it confusing because, you know, a girl looks good. So I still attract men that are much younger than I am. And I always find it interesting when I'm engaging with really young guys, how they're not even trying to actually fuck me. They literally just want to send nudes back and forth for like days of just sending nudes. And I'm like, don't send me a picture of your dick unless you're going to fuck me with it. Like, that's just a tease. Like, why would you do that to me?
I mean, I have preferences off. I can't do the young guys, man. I fell in love with one once and that was just bad. And then I'm like, no more. No, I can't.
If anyone here is of a certain age, please enlighten us. Do y'all just want to send nudes? Is that enough for you? Is that just how it is these days? You're not even trying to get the real thing? I don't know. It's fascinating. I do find that fascinating. So, I don't know. You have any other, what else you want to touch base on, Mariah, before we wrap?
I don't know.
You know, refilling here, a little vino blanco.
Salud.
Gracias.
I don't know. I feel like we were trying to talk about, you know, like just positives. And I just want to say, like, I think that there's, I mean, like, for even just look at like Instagram, Angelina, like I went like with this chick on Monday night and this guy last night. Like, I feel like there's positive connections that are happening, and you can find people not just on, because right now, like, one of the positives on dating apps is that like there are a lot more kinds of dating apps, right? So like if you're interested in like gluten-free or whatever the fuck, there's dating apps for gluten-free, there's dating apps for beards, there's like, you can like, not in Puerto Rico, but like you can find your niche.
Yeah, I know.
And you can like make connections with people interested in the same things like we have done on Instagram. So I think there's like positives that we have to keep looking at here about all of it.
Sorry, I'm reacting only because Maddie's dropping in the chat. Stay safe, y'all, because I have COVID and possibly got it from a Hinge date.
Which you shouldn't have done before you went to see your family, Maddie, my love.
It doesn't matter. Honestly, look, let's not even say what people should or shouldn't do.
That's true.
Honest about the situation, which is that I think everyone's gotten a little loosey-goosey lately. I think in general, people are like over it and are like, pandemic over. Like, I'm gonna do me. Like, I'm gonna wear my mask if I have to, but I'm still gonna fucking live my fucking life. And I get it because it's been a long, hard year that sucks. But the shit ain't over, people. This shit is real. And, you know, I feel like people be clowning me because I'm still in the house. And they're like, oh, Angie's still in the house. I'm like, yeah, because it's not over. And I know we all want it to be, but it's just not. And we have to stay safe, especially when we're meeting strangers from the internet.
And I think really like checking in with how you feel, because I'm telling you, some days I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like do something outside because that's like, I actually feel like your intuition. I feel like this is okay right now. And then other times I'm just like not feeling it, and I have to just respect that. Like I was just with my family all these times without masks. Now I can go out because we're gonna be with masks, and I'm still not going out because I just am not feeling it. Like really like trusting yourself of like, am I really feeling this? And like, how is it gonna affect people? And just like checking in every moment.
I'm also gonna just be honest. I recently met up with someone that I have a crush on. And just because I have a crush, I was being real lax about the mask. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh.
They found that that's actually a
and
thing.
then I was like, I had to check myself and be like, bitch, relax. You know what I mean? So anyways, just, you know, this is the PSA from the chat, is that COVID's still out there. It's possible you could get it from people, that strangers that you're dating right now. It's still a thing. So just be cautious and be careful out
Ask
there.
the questions, communicate. Just ask them what's going on. What are they doing with their lives? I mean, I know it's weird, but like you just kind of have to ask. Like you just kind of have to
in
ask.
closing, I'm going to ask you just one last time, because I know that you're still on some dating apps, and I know that you're still feeling like you could maybe meet someone during this time. So in a nutshell, as someone who's on the apps and looking to meet someone, what are you looking for a successful connection?
Well, I did just change a bunch of things on my dating apps. Update your dating apps, people. That's a good thing to do too. Keep updating them. New pictures, new things. It's just like kind of a fresh start, and like it's just good. So I updated it to pretty much like, if you're not interested in something more, or if you're not open to something more, if you're not open to having kids, then please don't even match with me, like straight up. Like,
Oh my
and
God,
then the other thing I said was like, I will fall for you if you're open to, if you can be vulnerable, if you can express your feelings, and like little hashtag thing, like no fuck boys, because I fuck more people than you anyway. Like I'm just laying it all out there. Seriously, I'm really laying it all out there. I wrote that.
I love you. That's amazing.
Because I'm in South Florida, like these guys think that they're all whatever, like you've never
I
had this,
know.
and I'm like, bro, you don't know me, okay? Like at all. So, but what am I looking for? I am looking for some similar interests. This is a big one I've realized.
Similar interests.
Is such a big one, a basic one, but like, what do you like to do every day? Like, especially when you're alone, like, what do you like? Do you know what I mean? Like, I want some dude who's like down to be at the beach with me all the time, like play with my plants, like, you know, cook for me because I don't cook. Like, I don't know, similar interests, and like that's a big one, a big one that I think we forget.
One.
Yeah. What do we like to do?
Interests is so huge.
Yeah.
I agree with that completely. I always end up bonding or like clicking more with people that I feel like somewhere we really click on something. You know what I mean? For me, it could be like we're both passionate about entertainment or music, or we're both vegan, or we're both meditate and do yoga, or we both love plants and gardening. Like whatever it is, if we click on that thing, those are the guys that I usually end up actually meeting up with.
Right, because our looks and everything's going to fade. But like in 5, 10, 20 years, we want to be doing the same things that we like to do when we're alone. Like, what do you like to do alone? Let's do it together.
And I just want to circle back to saying there have been times when I've been on the dating apps just for fun. And there have been times when I've been on the dating apps looking for something more serious. But every single time, I'm looking for someone that I actually click with, like, even if I just want to fuck you, I need to feel like we can like vibe. Like we need to be able to vibe, or else I don't care how hot you are. I don't care how big your dick is. I don't care if we're not vibing.
Right, which is what we talked about our friendship. And I just want to say that because what we talked about the other day is like, being yourself. Like our friends, we all love each other. We are wild, we are weird, we are whatever, but we all fucking love each other, and we love each other deeply, and we aren't changing anything about ourselves. And I feel like so many people are trying to put on their profile that they are this certain thing, or they don't want to say a certain thing, or they're like all of these things. And it's like being yourself. Like, I mean, my profile looks wild right now, but like my dude might fucking appreciate it. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
try to change like some to fit into something so I get more likes or to get more whatever. Like, fucking be yourself fully, especially now. Like, just do it, man, and it feels good. It feels good.
Yes. I was thinking about our mutual friend group that Mariah and I have from Puerto Rico. What are the things that bonded us, our similar interests that bonded us together? Number one, we're all travelers, and not just travelers, that people who also live abroad and speak different languages and like to learn about different cultures, you know? So that definitely brought us together. We all love to party. That definitely brought us together. And we all love sex. I think let's be honest.
It's so true. I've never like classified it into those categories.
Because we're all freaks. And not to say that we all fuck each other, although some of us have, but it's more like we're just all kind of freaky and nobody judges, and we all think it's funny that we're all like that.
It's amazing. And so we're gonna find a dude. Yes, you guys are there listening. We're gonna find dudes who can just join right in that group. Like, if you're out there, this is what you need. Angelina, you just said it. You just
travel / live abroad, or be open to it, speaking several languages and understanding different cultures. Love to party, have fun, dancing, have a good time, and be open about your sexuality and embrace it and love it and do it and don't feel shame. Have fun and joke and laugh about it too. We love
and be a good friend and have a good heart and be a good friend and be faithful and honest. Like, be there for your friends. Be faithful. Be honest. Be real. Like, we have each other's back, and like that's what it's about.
Yes. So, all right, I know, Gabe, it's okay. But this is why it's beautiful. This is why two of our friends from that group married each other, because these common interests and this time you take when you get to know somebody as a friend, it develops that intimacy. All right. So before we go, next week we'll be back. And in the next episode, as you may have heard at the end of episode 3, which we just watched tonight, Carla gets asked out on a virtual date. So episode 4, we're going to say, what is a virtual date? What happens on a virtual date? What is going on a virtual date like? So make sure to join us next week. We're going to see what happens on the episode, and we're going to talk about the world of virtual dating, which I feel like we tapped into a little bit, but really became a thing in the past year. It really wasn't a thing before.
And video sex.
For most people.
A little video sexting, maybe a little.
It could be so many things.
Could be.
All right, so like I said, virtual date boo, exactly. We're about to meet virtual date boo.
Ooh.
Yay!
Bring it on.
I'm excited for Carla. You know, who doesn't want to be asked out on a virtual date? We all do, fellas.
We still do.
We all do.
Do it.
So I'm still doing some finishing touches to episode 3. So make sure to check it out tomorrow. I will update on the page when it's ready to go on our website. Thank you for everyone tuning in.
Yay,
and
Angelina.
Next Wednesday. And don't forget to follow Sex During Corona. And don't forget to check out all of our episodes on our website, pandemicandchill.tv. See you next hump day.
Woo-hoo. Thank you. So proud of you. Love you.
Love you guys.
Love
Bye.
you. Love you. Mwah.